credit the Saints. Hard to win when you turn the ball over 5 times, and it was 5 consecutive drives. Missed a couple opportunities offensively on a flea flicker and a post, which I thought could have changed it after the start of the game. Defensively, we did a good job in the run game. Gave up that big play to 22, which was a huge play for us. So can't have those things. Too many DPI penalties. Again, 5 turnovers to 0. You're not going to win. You're not going to win this league.
Was the flea flicker a little underthrown or not thrown quickly enough? Slay have had that. It was hard to tell if it was.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at it. I thought we got by him there. Take a look at how it looks, but thought we had a chance.
4th and 1 on the next play. Why not go for it and be that aggressive on 3rd down?
Yeah, again, that was the decision that we made, not to go for it there. We went on a number of 4th downs, and we were going to try to pin them down there on that one.
You didn't go for 2, I believe, in the first half. You were on their side of it. Then you went for the 1 early in the second half. What's your thought process behind that?
Yeah, again, I have guys that I lean on, 4th down wise, that we communicate and talk about. And, every decision I make, I think that's the best decision after talking to the guys that I lean on, and then ultimately it's my decision.
What did you think of Jaxson? How he played?
I thought he battled. The game got away from him a little bit, again, with those turnovers. Again, some easy ones, too, when we just dropped. And, those kill you because they give those points, I think, 13 points off, and then they take away points when we're driving, and they're all, most of them were on the plus 50 or down there inside the scoring zone to at least get a field goal out of it. But, again, we move the ball well sometimes, but it's just hard when you're giving the ball away.
Can I follow up on Jaxson for a second?
Sure.
A lot of his success was in the first half was based on him using his legs. What did they do? What did you see differently in the second half that kind of prevented that?
Not much. I thought we moved the ball, and then we turned it over. So, the drives that we stalled on, we turned the ball over.
The big turnaround.
5 in a row, which is, it's hard to do.
With Cam, he's hard to bring down, and the ball just gets knocked away.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at all of them. He got knocked out of his hands. Slay got knocked hands. Jaxson dropped the 1. Those were 3 big drives coming out or going in to go ahead and generate some points or not give them up at the end of a half. Again, turn the ball over like that, give them opportunities for points, take away opportunities for you scoring points when you're moving the ball.
The sack today, why did we have a pass rush on?
Well, I'd say a number of things. I thought they got the ball out quick. They did a good job with it. That we missed a couple that we had in our grasp, but again, that big play on defense got us some 3rd downs. They were 3rd and shorter. Most of them, those 1 3rd and long on the crosser to Olave, but we didn't create any turnovers. And again, it's a broken record, but 5-0, I don't know. I don't know how many teams have ever won when it's 5-0 on the turnover ratio.
You did have the 1 takeaway that got negated with Bank. Yeah, I think we're probably asking a couple of things. Why keep up that rotation? What are you seeing from him? It seems like Flott is playing better. Just one play.
Yeah, Tay had that penalty. Tay's done some good things. Trust both those guys, but obviously that one hurt us. Again, some missed opportunities. That one, a couple plays we had downfield that I thought we had a chance to make, and then the turnovers. So, not good enough.
He's been flagged 4 or 5 times already, and it's in limited playing time, right? He's not playing full time. What do you say to that? What do you say to him? Why do you think that keeps happening?
Yeah, keep working on our technique. I know Marquand is out there with those guys every day working on technique and getting their head around when they need to get their head around and not being as handsy. We'll continue to do that.
What was the thought process with obviously going more 2 tight end, 2 receivers today?
Well, it was, I thought it was an advantage for us relative to how they played it in their base defense. And then they end up going nickel defense, but Belly and Theo had confidence in those 2 guys, but it simplified them a little bit as well. So I thought it was we operated it well early on, and then again it's hard to operate when you're turning the ball over.
It's obviously good. This is a whole series of firsts for Jaxson still. What do you say to him after his first loss, his first tough game?
Yeah, again that's the NFL. There's every play matters, and he knows that. He's as hard on himself as anybody. There's a lot to learn from it, and that's what we'll do. There'll be ups, there'll be downs. I thought he started out really well, and then collectively we got to do a better job. We got to make the play down the field when we have an opportunity to make a play. We got to hold on to the ball when we're scrambling. Those are things that we'll build off with him, but he competed, was prepared, ready to go, and then again, I know it's a broken record, but it's hard to win with 5 turnovers.
On my roster management angle, you had the 2 open roster spots, you didn't bring up Humphrey, and then in the game there you got 3 receivers basically left just to run. Why not bring up another receiver there?
Yeah, felt good about where we were at relative to our plan going into the game and what we were going to try to do with the multiple tight ends. So we'll see what happens next week.
But you had to know there's a chance you get in a situation where you couldn't lose a guy, and like what happened, like that's obviously a possibility. So you didn't think that was.
There's a possibility you can lose 2 running backs and have no running backs. It's the NFL. Injuries are going to happen. We had 5 receivers. We had 4 tight ends in case something happened to one of the tight ends to be able to continue in what we were going to use throughout the game. So we'll see how it goes.
Down all those turnovers, I think you guys can continue to build off of what Dart's doing well, some of the drives you guys had.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's his first loss as a starting quarterback. I know there's plays that he wishes he had back. We got to do a good job around him, but I have a lot of confidence in the young man.
Take 2 more.
Without Malik, you knew that people had to step up. What do you think of the way your wide receivers played?
Again, none of us did a good enough job.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.